Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Scarlett, and sitting next to me is my colleague Brian.
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Before we begin this webinar, just to let you know that you are welcome to leave any comments and questions you may have during this webinar in the comment sector, and we will cover them by the end of this webinar. So, as we mentioned in our invitation, we will conduct 3 webinars in the coming weeks to guide you through the basics of Octoparse. These webinars are aimed to help you get on board as quickly as possible and hopefully help you to become an expert in web scraping using our software faster. Also, to promote the new version 8.4.2 released just 2 weeks ago. And we would strongly recommend those who are still on the older version of Octoparse to get an update straight away, as we've introduced several exciting new features. And this will be the agenda of the day, broken into 5 main parts. I will first give a quick introduction of what Octoparse is and how it works, then show you the software interface. Brian will then give you some demonstration to compare our 2 different ways of building a task, which are by task templates or by advanced mode. He will also show you the auto-detect algorithm we've got, which is a very powerful function, and to give you a brief introduction about our cloud extraction function. So for those of you who are new to Octoparse, Octoparse is a web scraping software that helps you quickly fetch data from any website without coding. Anyone can use Octoparse to build a crawler in just minutes. You get what you see is the word we stand behind, meaning as long as the data is visible on a web page, you will be able to scrape it with our software. Octoparse can fulfill most data extraction requirements as it works to scrape data from different websites, for example, e-commerce and social media. So no matter which industry you're in, you should be able to utilize this powerful tool for different needs, such as price monitoring, social trend discovery, risk management, and many more useful cases. You can use Octoparse to scrape structured pages, scrolling pages, table data, social media posts, etc. And you will be able to pull all the info in the context on the page by using Octoparse. So you're probably wondering, how does Octoparse work? Octoparse automatically extracts web page data as it simulates real human browsing actions, such as opening a web page and clicking anything on a page. And the whole extraction process is defined automatically in a workflow, with each individual action representing a particular interaction with the target web page. Next, I'll walk you through the interface of the software. So as soon as you log into Octoparse, you will find 2 main sections, the home page and the sidebar. And I will start with the sidebar on the left, which contains everything you need to navigate within the software. You can create a new task or a new crawler by moving your cursor to here, add new. There are 2 ways to do so, by advanced mode or using a task templates, which we will elaborate on later. Dashboard is where you can manage all your tasks. You can delete, export, run, schedule, or group any of the tasks in your account. You can also check the status of any task. For example, if you started to run a task on the cloud, you can check how many lines of data have been extracted from here. You can also click on the plus button if you want to add a column to the dashboard. For example, if you would like to know the runtime of any of the tasks, you can add it to the dashboard. The top left corner is where you can search for a specific task by its name or filter by its group. You can always click on more to add another filters such as status, task type, etc. On the right corner here is where you can refresh the dashboard, also to change the sort order to view by group or by the most recent task. Quick filters and recent tasks both allows you to use some shortcuts to quickly access to your task. Tutorials and data service are where you would be redirected to our official website for tutorials in our Hub Center and data service pull request. Contact Us is where you can search tutorials by keywords. For example, if you've encountered some issue with anything related to, let's say, loop, such as loop item, loop pages, you can search by key in loop and then hit click enter. Then anything related to loop from our help center will show up here. Down below, you will find settings where you can adjust according to your needs and preferences. We've got a toolbox and another tutorials and help entry next to it. About Us is where you can check which version of Octoparse you're currently using. And like I've mentioned, please go and download the latest version 8.4.2, and I promise you won't regret it. You can also visit the Octoparse official website, Facebook, Twitter page, and YouTube channel from here. And that's the sidebar. Let's click on here to minimize it and get the most of our next part, the homepage. First thing you'll notice on the homepage is this search bar here. This is where you can enter the target website's URL to start building a task, or you can also search for a template's name that you can't find below in the popular task template section. For example, let's say I would like to scrape a warm-up page, and before I decided to build a task from the scratch, which I imagine would take a bit of time, I would like to check if Octoparse has a preset, ready-to-use template offered to save my time. I will search here, format, and there you go. We do have two ready-to-use templates offered. So if page URL or customer reviews is something I am looking to scrape, that would be saving me a lot of time. For task template, some popular ones are shown under the search bar. For example, Amazon, eBay, Booking.com, TripAdvisor. You can also click here to see more by categories. They are sorted by categories covering a wide range of industries such as products, travel, social medias, and some of our most popular categories like jobs and real estate can be found behind. If you select eBay from the most popular templates, you'll see instead of opening a single template, we have a group of templates ready to fulfill different scraping needs, varying from languages, countries, etc. You can choose one upon your need by clicking to the template and check for the template details. Description is a brief introduction on the template and steps to follow. Data preview is where you'll see what kind of data will be extracted if you use this template. For example, this template would extract image, eBay item number, seller link, product URL, etc. Parameters is what you will need to input in order to use and run this template. Sample is, well, pretty straightforward, sample output of this template. And next, I'll pass it to Brian to demonstrate with one of our templates here.
For the following section, I'll be doing some demonstrations on how to use Octoparse to create a task. We can create tasks by using templates or advanced mode. So let's start with the template, which is also the most popular function of our platform. As Scarlett mentioned before, we've got many different kinds of templates for different needs, so it is a decent choice. For those of you who need a time-saving method, let's try with this one. The yellow pages. After you open the template, you will see that we need to enter some parameters. As you can see, the parameters, we've got location and the keyword on the page. So let's click try it. So we need to enter the keyword and the location. So for example, we enter restaurant as a keyword and New York as a location. Then we click Save and Run here. So you can see the pop-up. So we have two ways to run it. Local extraction, which is to run the template on your own device. This will take you local device memory, and the data scraped will be saved locally. Or we can choose here, cloud extraction. So we can run in the cloud and by using our cloud servers. So this will free up your local device, and the data scraped will be saved in our cloud, so it can be accessed from other devices. So here we choose run on your device for this demonstration. So now a pop-up window will show what's going on during the scraping. So you can watch the data being scraped live. The upper screen here is a built-in browser. So Octopus is doing its job as what human beings do when browsing the page. And here, the lower screen is the data preview. So you can see what information have been collected. So you can notice that the process is ongoing. So here's the built-in browser. So you can see what's going on during the procedure. So if we go back to the data preview, you will now see all the information from the page have been collected step by step. Okay, let's stop the run here. So after the template task is complete, you can click on Export Data to download the data into Excel, CSV, HTML, JSON, etc. So in this case, we use Excel as an example. So if we go back to the dashboard, the template task could be found on dashboard after refreshing. So you can start this template task from the dashboard in the future, or you can click here, the task name, to edit the parameters. That's how the template works. Pretty simple, right? Although the templates we offered have covered a pretty wide range of industries and websites, you would, of course, still encounter situations when you cannot find a preset template to, scrape your target website. So that's when the advanced mode comes into use. So advanced mode can deal with all kinds of page interactions more flexibly. So next, I will show you how to build a task from scratch with the advanced mode. Basically, there are two methods to start a new advanced mode task of entering page links. We just simply copy and paste one URL we want to scrape, or list of URLs to the search bar here, directly on the home page, and click Start to create a task. We will get to the task editing workspace after clicking the Start. Or you can click here, the New button, and we choose Advanced Mode. So then we can input the URL here. If you have more than 10,000 URLs to input, then you can try to import from the file, import from the task, or you can use batch generate to do that. So you can then click Save, and we will get to the task editing workspace. So now I will paste the link onto the search bar, and I will introduce something about the workspace interface. So let's click Start. And the Octopus workspace is where you will be building your tasks. So basically, there are 5 main parts. This one, building browser. And here is the tips panel. Then we move to the workflow here and settings section. at the bottom. So the last, data preview. So each part serving its particular purpose. So let's go through it one by one. The target web page will be loaded in Octoparse built-in browser. This is where you can interact with the web page on the right top corner. So this is where you can switch to the browse mode to browse the page, just like a normal browser. So you can click whenever you want, and the workflow won't record it. Also, the tips panel won't suggest anything about it. For example, we click on news, so we move on to the next page, and we can click table here. You can utilize the browse mode to, for example, log into your account if the page requires or complete a capture. So by switching it off, click here, and you can continue building your task in what we call select mode. So the tips panel here is where Octoparse talks to you, guides you through the task building process. So as you proceed to interact with the web page, such as opening the web page and clicking on page elements, the entire process is defined automatically in the form of a workflow here. So for example, we click on this one and we extract the text from the element. So you can see. And down below is the settings section for the actions in the workflow here. So it will be shown after you select one action. For example, I click on go to web page. So currently, which is highlighted, and you have something setting options for this action here. You can, wherever do wait before action, we can clear cache. We can use cookie, etc. So to have a preview of the selected data, you can go to the data preview, where we can check what scrape data is like and customize the data fields. Now, let's take a look at the target page we're going to scrape into this demonstration. So this is an e-commerce web page with a list of products on it. The products are all displayed with the same layout. They have the product image here and product title and price, of course. So here's the next page button here, and which can take us to more pages with similar products. We want to scrape, title here and price, and of course the image to get the data. Octoparse auto detect algorithm is specially designed to scrape pages of such a kind. It automatically detects for the listing data, including text elements and links, next page buttons, load more buttons, and the scroll down of the page, so on and so forth, and then generates the scraping task automatically. We will show you how to use auto detect to scrape the data today. So if we click on the tips panel, so we select auto detect web page data, so we can see it starts detecting, and just wait for it to complete. So the detected data would be shown here on the data preview. And in case the data detected is not what you want, you can click here to, switch to another. But in this case, that's not exactly what we want. So we can go back to the previous one. Then we can check the options offered on the tips panel. Here, the first option of extra data in the list is selected automatically, of course. And the second option here, paginate to scrape more pages, means to create actions for clicking the next page button. If we scroll all the way down to the button and we click check, so you can see it's been highlighted correctly, and you can see in blue color. So if this one is not correct, you can click Edit to select any button on the page to make it more precisely. Okay, so after confirming the options, we click on Create Workflow. A workflow will be generated automatically. And you can see on the right-hand side, everything is all set. Then we can modify the data fields in the data preview panel. Here, for example, we can double-click the task name to rename it. For example, for this, we want it to be product. So you can do it simply double-clicking it. And if we want to change the data field order, I mean the sequence, so we can drag it to different place. For example, it's very simple. And if there are some unwanted fields, of course, you might see, click on More here. So this one, and we click Delete. More options to be modified. The data fields can be found here. So we basically have 6 functions. So click on here, you can see more. So, and you can also switch to the vertical view here to preview one data line. From here, you can select multiple fields and, you can easily do actions to them. You can just switch to another view spot. It's exactly the same. If you want to know which link you are taking to the data form, simply click this button and you move to here, page level data. So you go to page link. So, okay, you can see you can add more data field for that. And also you can add page title. So, for example, other sort of things for that. Okay, until now, the data looks pretty good for us. If we only need to take simple product data from the listing, we can just save and run this task. Okay, but what if we want to click on the product URL to get more information from the detail page? So you will notice there's an option on the tips panel. Click on link to scrape the linked pages. So click on it and we can select. For this case, we want the title link and we click confirm. So this helps you to choose a link to click and Octoparse will take you to that new page to grab data from there. Okay, so this is the detail page. And we select something, anything we want from the page. For example, we select the price and we click extract data from the elements. And we also want to select, for example, category. So you can see it's been selected. Okay, so from here, we can select any information we want everywhere on the page. So now it's all done for this task extraction. Okay, so we can run this task to get data. We can click save, first of all, and then click run. So again, we have 2 options, local extractions and cloud extraction. For the advanced mode tasks, Local extraction would be the same when we run the template. So we would like to talk about cloud extraction. After you click on run in the cloud, the task will start to run in the cloud. And you won't see there's a pop-up window as local extraction. So you can be back to the dashboard to check the task status or task status script. So we click here and we can move on to the dashboard. So you can see, very simple, list icon means cloud extraction and the status is running. Data extracted, 26 lines, looks pretty good. We click on more to see what's going on. So, okay, you can monitor the process. But if you want to learn more about what's being collected, just go back to the dashboard. So you click on data extracted, 40 lines here. Then you'll be able to see everything from the page, right? Okay, so that's all for today's demonstration. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about our cloud extraction. So before telling that, it is for paid users only. So for those of you who paid for standard plans or above would have access for that. Okay, so very simple. Why would you need cloud extraction? Basically, there are 5 features for you. So for the first one, for your local device, cloud extraction is using our cloud server. So it has nothing to do with your local network, but only connected to our end. You can simply start cloud extraction and close the Octoparse, or even shut down your PC to do anything else you want. Second of all, you can hide your IP. As tasks run in the cloud server, they will use our cloud IPs to access the web pages. So your local IP will be protected. So that's the most important thing. You can also have high scraping speed. Of course, cloud extraction can speed up the scraping 6 to 10 times local runs by splitting the task into subtasks and running the multiple subtasks at the same time. So you can also get flexible data connection. You can connect cloud data with a third-party platform to output the collected data for other needs with our API or Zapier. And also you can update the data on a recurring basis. You can schedule the task to run at any frequency you want, like daily, weekly, or monthly. So that's all about our schedule extraction. Okay, so let's get back to the Octoparse. If you are working for a security company or you are just monitoring price fluctuation from time to time, and you need to understand the importance of schedule run. Schedule feature is exactly for you. You can set, for example, every day, once, weekly, monthly. You can select day of the month at a certain time of the every day, of course. And if we want to just, for example, just repeat, click on repeat, and you can run every 1 minute, 5 minutes, etc. So it is a very good tool to monitor the fluctuation or the changes of certain figures. That's the end of our demonstration today. Now let's move on to our Q&A section.